Let's take Andrea in Salt Lake City. Andrea, were you free range as a kid?
Oh, absolutely. That's why my mom fielded a deep bench as far as number of children went. You know, she knew not all of us were going to make it. And luckily, it turned out to be false. All three of us made it, so that's good. But,
yeah. Well, it's true. You know, when back in the days, it's another reason for the free-range parenting of the past is that when you have bigger families, the kids have more freedom because the kids end up looking out for each other. Today's families are smaller, therefore they're more protected. So, you know, one thing leads to the other.
It makes perfect sense. And actually, when I got into the third grade, my mom became very ill, and then it fell to my father. And then luckily, I had an older brother, about 7.5, 8 years older, who's really able to look after me and make sure that, you know, I'm getting home from school, whatever else. You know, without that, what's my dad going to do? He works construction. He can't be taking time off. There's no Aflac. Like, he's, you know,
covers those bills, right? Covers those bills.
Yeah, so I was very fortunate to have more of a free-range childhood, and I guess this is like the first moment that I'm proud of Utah for passing a sensical law. I don't know.
I know. The funny thing is, it's of all the places, you know who needs this law is California. Utah, I think there's probably it's not as big of a problem there. But that's the way things happen. You know, they're going to be the first ones, and maybe they can be a model for the rest of us, you know.
California's too busy taking care of illegal immigrants to worry about free-range children.
They have free-range homeless people.
They have free-range everything else.
Yes. California has jumped the shark, left the bounds of the earth, and set a course straight for the center of the sun. They're beyond salvaging, so just forget it, guys.
So, Andrea, did you see the news? I started the show with this at 3 o'clock. The idea that the White House now has changed it through the Commerce Department. They have changed the census. They are going to ask citizenship. I was surprised that they didn't. Andrea, did you know they didn't ask about citizenship on the census already?
Well, of course, because I watched Tucker Carlson religiously, and he stated that fact about a week and a half ago that they hadn't asked that since 1950.
Yes.
When they said that they were going to pitch that question on the next census, I was kind of like, yeah, all right, that makes sense, duh. And Matt Welch had a great article earlier this week in Reason Magazine, and I read that, and I went, okay, yeah, it's kind of almost a red herring. Like, they probably shouldn't ask that question because we have plenty of non-citizens, legal residents. It could be, you know, temporary protected status, could be refugees, green card holders, etc. They're going to need services. They're here. That's fine. But it really falls to people being very upset because illegal immigrants theoretically could fill this out and get services. And it's like, okay, well, the census should not ask citizenship because that's not the point of it. But we're upset that illegal immigrants might get services. They should not be in a position to fill out the census in the first place. So that's really where the ire
right, and the whole point is the demographic, and we have the Looney Toony, like, lefty media slamming it when it should have been in there in the first place. It's about demographic. You're really going to say that you can't ask your status?
I think you should ask more, because the question is going to be, how many people in your household are they U.S. citizens? And, you know, like Andrew was saying, if saying you're not a U.S. citizen doesn't mean you're an illegal immigrant. You could be a green card holder who's not a citizen. I think they should ask all the questions. They should say, are you a U.S. citizen? A, is what's your status? Green card, illegal alien, whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Where are you hiding?
They should also ask a question, do you have a propensity for lying? You know, stuff like that.
Yeah. If you were to hide, would you be a closet person, a basement?
Well, in that article that was cited by Andrea in Reason Magazine, I was reading that they think that they're concerned. This is Democrat and Republican. People who've worked on the census before, they say we can't do this because what that is going to do is going to make people not answer their doors because they're going to be afraid. But there's no precedent. You know, census people are not going to come and arrest you. We all know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
The thing is, the reason they're going to be afraid to answer their doorbell is the hysteria from the media saying, oh, these crazy people, Donald Trump, he's coming for you. He's going to deport you via the census. None of that's going to happen. If they don't overhype this thing, people will not be hiding behind their doorbells.
I think we should just get rid of it. And I know
the census.
I do. I don't like
rid of it.
I think we should stop keeping track of stuff. No, I'm serious. Like races,
free range.
If you know, I understand they do. There's plenty of reasons why they do it and whatever. But if we just would forget about, like, the people care too much about what race is where and who's doing what. Why can't we just say, let's just stop talking about race. Just stop noticing who's doing what. Let's just all be nice.
That's
just don't be people. What do you think, Jamie?
Well, it's so the New York Times can get a headline. Exactly. It's all this hysteria. It's hyped up, and it's over nothing. Like you said, it shouldn't matter, but it is about demographic, and they're part of the demographic. So you should be answering if you're a citizen or not.
I agree, but I'm just saying in general we should.
Andrea, do you think if we went through California and we did a real top to bottom count of the people, and we found out who was citizens, who were not, who were legal aliens, who were illegal aliens, that we wouldn't be able to knock down their electoral number a little bit? I think we'd knock 2 or 3, maybe 4 off it.
Well, I don't know if it'd be necessarily that high, but yeah, I definitely think their count would go down, and really by them filing suit immediately after this announcement, they kind of gave away their hand. And off topic, so we could save it, but I did have a question for Chris.
Yeah, no, off top. Let's go.
Boy.
Let's go off top. Let's go off road, man.
Yes, I am single.
Yes.
Well, I kind of figured that. Well, because I'm single, so I project, and everyone else must be single too because I'm cynical, and it's terrible. Anyway, by the way, Tass says hello to everyone, and
hi, Tass.
Tass,
hello.
And then, Chris, I wanted to know, I've never heard of anyone getting a contact high from an alcoholic, but is that true of Gino Bisconti? Do you know? Do you have any
Oh, goodness.
That maybe earlier from today?
She's referencing that I was on the Bill Schultz morning show, and then afterward, we were at a bar. He took a picture of me having one beverage and claimed that I was going to show up here very drunk, and I did not. So.
Are you hammered?
So wait, after a morning show, you and Gino Bisconti had beers?
And Bill Schultz, they had
Good
some
for you.
whiskey. They had some shots and stuff. I sort of kept
Those
it.
guys are unbelievable.
Good for you.
Yeah, I know.
What a
I don't know how they
tank.
do it. I can't do shots in the
That's
afternoon.
impressive. I'd be passed out. I'd be sleeping.
I would have if I didn't have other things to do, but thank you for the question.
You're good.
Yeah.
You don't smell like booze.
Oh, thank you.
What I want to do here is I have a call on illegal aliens, but I want to ask Andrea about if she saw Roseanne. So I'm going to put Andrea on hold, and Roseanne, it's the most important topic of the day.
Oh, my
do
goodness.
it.
I'm so excited.
Did you guys see Roseanne?
Love her.
You love her?
I
Did you
love
see it?
her.
Yeah.
I love her.
You love Roseanne.
Yes, I did.
You saw it. What did you think of the show?
I liked it a lot. I was a little worried at first. Then it took them a few minutes to get through some of the, kind of cheesy, keeping us up to date on what they're doing. Some
time
easy,
has passed.
like forced lines on
Dan's
what's going
alive.
on.
Spoiler.
Yeah. So once they got into the story and you could see their, the actual good writing was coming through. It turned really well. Jackie, Laurie Metcalf is I think one of the most underrated physical comedians. You are a good physical comedian yourself. You would know. She's great.
Yeah, so funny. And John Goodman, obviously hilarious. Let's play a clip.
Most of all, Lord, thank you for making America great again. No, it's okay, darling. I'm going to use my life coaching degree to model the behavior that I teach all my many, many clients in situations like this. We don't name call. We respond with a positive affirmation about the other person. You're looking very fit. Apparently all that weight you lost was the good Roseanne. How could you have voted for him, Roseanne?
He talked about jobs, Jackie. He said he'd shake things up. I mean, this might come as a complete shock to you, but we almost lost our house the way things are going.
Have you looked at the news? Because now things are worse.
Not on the real news.
So great.
They had a lot of good back
Listen,
and forth.
I
throughout.
applaud Roseanne and I applaud this show for giving a voice to so many households across the U.S. because contrary to what you will see and pushed by other networks that's pushing diversity across all spectrums, they are not giving a voice to Trump supporters. And there is a real problem with that. There's a real gap. They're not giving a voice to these people. And I think in the show, she's not talking to her sister who voted for Hillary Clinton. I could see myself doing that. I could see myself doing that. I can relate to her.
And they're not all, it's not all a bunch of Trump supporters. They're arguing through the whole show, right? Andrew, did you see Roseanne?
I didn't, but I heard some of the news coverage basically that she was being criticized on Kimmel during their interview that
Oh, yeah.
they were going to be a Trump supporter or whatever else. And it's like, look, dummy. People don't want to be preached to when they're watching scripted television. Perhaps they want to see their own selves in there, like Jamie pointed out. So it's no surprise that this is an overwhelming rating success.
Yeah, and I think Roseanne's obviously, she's a bit batty. Her politics are not, she's certainly not aligned with Trump.
No,
politically.
She's socially very liberal.
She's like, she loves Castro. She's like she's a communist / anarchist. You can't really pin her down on politics. But
she did get 6th place in the last election, or 2 elections ago.
Yeah,
though. So that was...
and she finds great flaws in liberalism. But whether she's liberal or conservative, I don't care, because just like with All in the Family, which was a show like this where people were arguing about politics throughout it and hot button issues like race, Norman Lear, a famous liberal, he's the creator of People for the American Way, so he's a long-time left-wing liberal, but it didn't matter. It doesn't matter the sentiment of the people producing it, just that you're having it there, the conversations
if
on
it's
TV.
Real.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where I think sketch comedy goes wrong now, is that things aren't as funny anymore because they're writing it with the idea of we're going to show this point and then make fun of them and it'll be funny. And it doesn't work that way. You have to be funny realistically and then, put in your points here and there. But I think a lot of times when you just come at it with hate, you automatically, the audience senses it and you're not funny anymore,
right,
like Alec Baldwin.
True.
Well, and Tom, one of your 12 albums in 12 months project, you talked about you were on a sketch comedy show called What's Up?
What's up?
Yeah, and everyone's talking about it because they're some perceived persecuted group, like, I was black, they followed me around the store, and your line was, so far, no problem. It's like, I identify with that guy.
Exactly. So far, nothing but net for Shalou. Andrea, thank you for the call. Let's take a